Hi everyone, thank you for joining us for another edition of Adam Interviews, where we are introducing you to folks in our community doing great work. And Walter, the CEO of Allstate Roofing, one of those people, and he was kind enough to join me on, it really is a beautiful day, a little cold though. So we are going to talk about how to winterize your home. This is the time of year when that cold starts to creep in. It already has, it came early this year, and you might start to get ice damming on the roof. You might worry about insulation, frozen pipes. I mean, there's so much to think about, and that's why I was so happy when Walter agreed to chat with me. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
I appreciate you getting into the season as well here, the holiday season.
Oh,
with
yes, you gotta have the cheers.
Exactly, because it's not, you got to keep your head warm along with your house.
Yes.
All right, so there is construction going on. You guys are working on this roof, and before we get going, what an interesting roof this is. I don't see many roofs like this.
Now, this house has actually roof lines of pretty much every roof you're gonna see in Rochester. It has the mansard, you have the pitch. The only thing it doesn't have is a flat area.
Yeah.
Everything else you got like a 12-19 pitch, very steep, almost a wall, and then you got your standard pitch, 6-12.
Now, when you talk about ice damming, I hear a lot of people say, oh, well, I have a really sloped roof, so I don't have to worry about that. Is that the case, or do you still have to worry about it, even if the angle is pretty, what's the right word?
The pitch.
Yeah, the pitch, excuse me,
Yeah.
is pretty high.
Well, if you have a steep pitch, that's not going to save you from ice damming. The ice damming is caused, there's multiple factors. One of them is ventilation, right? The roof isn't venting, the other one's insulation. You got a lot of heat escaping into the attic space.
Yeah.
And those are the typical conditions, issues. And then obviously the age of the roof, but age of the roof isn't going to do too much. The age of the roof basically in a sense where the steep roofs, they're designed with the shingles for all the water basically to drain down. It's not designed to hold the water. So what happens when you have perfect conditions would be like cold, warm, cold, but I don't know if you remember a few years ago we had conditions where it was really cold for a long period.
Yeah.
So what happens during the day, it gets a little warmer, it gets colder, it still is in the teens for a long time. And when you have a roof, any roof basically, and your ventilation's poor, which it's not venting the heat that's collecting there, but even at that point, you still want to have a sufficient amount of insulation.
Yeah.
Like for us here, the code recommendations are R39, but really, you should really have R49, R59 because of the conditions we have here.
And what's the difference?
You're going to save a ton of money on energy.
Yeah.
It's going to keep all your heat.
We're talking about insulation at this point?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're going to keep all your heat inside your house.
Yeah.
And then the attic space, it stays cool.
Yeah.
But it also stays cool when you have you look at the soffits. You gotta make sure your soffits are vented.
Okay.
Because if they're not vented, there's no air that's going to come in and push the warmer air out.
Yeah.
So even summer too.
Oh,
Summer and
interesting.
winter, you want to have that airflow. So it basically works on its own, right? Because the cold air, sits lower, and then the hot air always goes up.
Goes up, right.
So that's why we put the ridge vents on all our projects. One of the big deals is to have that ridge vent.
Right. So it's interesting. You don't want the warm air touching the roof then.
No, you want that air to move.
Right, exactly.
The best roofs you're going to see are the roofs that the snow doesn't melt. Or if it melts evenly throughout the roof.
So you almost don't want to see it melt.
You don't want to see it. If it melts, it should melt evenly.
Yeah.
If you see the lower half of the roof,
yeah,
you see snow and the upper half is melted, it means that there's hot air trapped there and melting.
So interesting. Okay, and what's the damage that can come from that? What can happen?
So what happens with that is, I'll give you an example. You take a water, put it in a glass, stick it in your freezer. What's going to happen? The glass, it's going to crack. It expands.
Yeah.
So if the roof is not ventilated correctly or insulated, your upper section of the roof is going to melt, and the lower section is going to refreeze, and eventually it's going to refreeze to a point where it creates a dam, ice dam. And behind the dam, what you'll have is a condition where it's not freezing, and the water's collecting.
Yeah.
Basically, it could be outside, 10 degrees, and the water will sit there, actual water.
Wow.
It's not going to freeze because it's warm.
Right.
So at night, when the temperature gets colder, that water is so as we spoke, that steeped roofs, shingles, designed to drain the water.
Right.
There's no warranty that covers against ice damming.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what happens is it gets under the shingles,
Yeah.
and at night it freezes and it tears the shingle. So eventually it tears up and makes its way into your house.
Is that one of the main causes of roof damage? Is ice damming?
In the winter, yes.
In the winter?
It's a huge problem, yes, in many houses.
And I don't know if it would be called ice damming, but in one of my older houses, I looked at one of the sides, and the whole side of the house, so not on the roof, but on the siding, the wood siding, it was just all like a sheet of ice. Is that ice damming as well?
Well, it is an ice issue, but the ice damming is more of a roofing issue
Yeah.
in insulation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And because that could cause paint damage, obviously.
Oh yeah, it gets into your soffit, it gets everywhere. But the cause of that is because of the roof.
Yeah.
Your roof isn't insulated and ventilated correctly.
Yeah.
Because if it was, that snow wouldn't melt.
Right.
So what happened is it melted off the roof, but it refreezed on the siding.
Yeah.
So that's the big issue.
That's interesting. I've always heard that if you see big icicles on a home, that means that the roof is not insulated properly or the house is not insulated.
Correct.
Is that true?
That's 100%. That is
Yeah.
100%. But there's also the way some of the roofs are built.
Yeah.
You can't really insulate them correctly.
Really? How come?
Because there's not enough space.
Oh, okay.
Special cathedral ceilings they have, you can't get enough R rating there. So, and what we do with some of the roofs, we actually build a space above the roof. Basically,
Whoa,
build another
interesting.
roof on top
Yeah, right.
to create air intake. So the air
Right.
goes in and goes out.
That can't be that cheap.
It can get quite expensive.
Yeah, I mean, you're building a new part of the house, essentially, correct?
You are, but you're saving yourself thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of dollars in
Right.
the future.
I've heard some people put little heating strips on the top of their roof. Is that? I've always worried about the danger of that. Could that be dangerous to have that, like a little wire?
It's pretty safe if
Yeah.
it's done right. That is an option. It's not the cheapest, but it can definitely work. But you have to make sure you get the professional grade cables
Yeah.
and get an electrician to put an electrical box with a temperature sensor. So this way it operates correctly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you're just trying to go and buy one, it'll work okay, but if it gets cold, it really is not going to do much.
Yeah.
But for a solution, if you don't have the funds to spend to do it right,
Yeah.
it can help. It can definitely help out for certain areas.
And then I always worry too, okay, so you melt it off the roof, but what if it's super, super cold and as it's leaving the roof, it could still turn into ice, correct?
Right. So this is when we do with the cables, as
Yeah.
we spoke. The way we would run it, we would zigzag it,
Yeah.
and then we would run it into your gutter and out the downspout.
I see. So
So-
it has a directional.
Yes. So your gutters aren't refreezing, so that water is drained out.
And would you actually put the heated cable down the downspout as
Oh
well?
yes, 100%.
Right, because then otherwise it would just freeze
It
the.
defeat the purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, let's walk a little closer here. We'll talk about the various things. So, by the way, a flat roof. Do you still have to worry about insulation and all that with a flat roof as well?
Insulations with every roof, because that's you're losing heat. But with the flat roof, normally they're designed that some of the water can stay on there. It's
Yeah.
almost like a pool situation.
Yep, no, that makes sense. So right now, this is a new roof that you put on here, correct?
This is a brand new roof. Yes, we just finished it like yesterday or the day before.
I mean, look at how steep that. It's almost like a wall.
Yeah, that's a 1219. It's one of the steepest pitches. It's like siding, basically.
Really? Yeah, no
Yes.
kidding. Do you have to use different types of shingles for that because of?
We don't have to, but we'll have to seal them. We have to get them all sealed.
Yeah.
and but put extra nails on them. But they lay pretty well for the conditions.
Yeah.
And we usually try to get the shingles all preheated before we install them. And this
What does that do?
Well, a shingle has a strip of tar,
Okay.
and if it's warm, it basically seals like it seals right one onto the other.
Wow.
So it forms uniform. Otherwise, you gotta wait for nice sunny weather, and that will seal up.
Yeah, but in the winter you don't have that option.
In the winter, even if you get like a 40-degree temperature,
Yeah.
when it's direct sunlight, if it hits the roof,
Yeah.
it's probably gonna be 70, 80
Wow.
at the right pitch.
And how long do roofs last these days, generally?
Well, the different manufacturers have different warranties.
Yeah.
Typically, what we install is a 50-year system.
Wow, that's
And-
incredible.
Yeah, and you can get 20, and we do 20. We have an option 25-year workmanship, and they are transferable.
Oh, wow.
So
that's
new home,
interesting.
yes. So if you say, let's say a roof that's costed, the cost was 15,000 last year. Now
Mhm.
last year, let's say 5 years ago, 6.
Right.
Now that same roof, you got to pay 25,000
Yeah.
because of all the inflation increases. If you did that roof 5 years ago,
Yeah.
you would had 20 years of warranty left and a product 45 years. So the value of that roof, you actually increased the value on that roof.
Yeah.
And your money actually is now worth more
Right.
than it did before.
So when you talk about asphalt, do you do metal roofing as well?
We do metal, yes. We do
How
metal.
does that handle this kind of weather? Is that good, bad, where, like especially in the deep winter?
Metals, there isn't that many issues with metal. Metal, as long as you have the snow stoppers, because if it gets warmer, the whole snow can shove right off the roof.
And it doesn't happen with asphalt?
No, asphalt has granules,
Yeah.
so it kind of holds. It doesn't very rarely.
Oh,
will
I never
happen.
thought about that. So
Yeah.
when you say, what does a snow stopper look like?
It's either a snow bar across, or you call them snowbirds.
Okay.
They're little stoppers. They're screwed in along the eaves.
Wow, that's fantastic. Because
Yeah.
you could, otherwise, what would happen if you didn't have that? It would just,
If you walk by, it could
yeah.
take you out.
little, I understand. You got to be careful. So when you talk about the insulation, back in the day when I was growing up, my mom used to always say, "Don't touch the insulation." Is that still the case? Has it changed over the years?
It depends on the insulation you use. You can use the board and batten, which is the rolled out, and
Yeah.
then there's two types of blown in that you can use. One's cellulose and the other one's fiberglass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you prefer to use the blown in, you would
Yeah.
go with this fiberglass.
Yeah.
The cellulose isn't the greatest. It is a little to go with, and then there's also the foam, sprayed foam insulation.
Yeah, I have seen that
Yeah.
actually. Is that pretty good, the sprayed foam?
It is. It's. There's a lot of positive about it, and some things you gotta consider.
Yeah.
Like air exchangers, you're gonna have to put in because once you spray it, that house is solid. There's no
Yeah.
air coming in or out.
Yeah. And does the soffits matter then? Like, can you still get air in and out, or?
The way we see it, we would prefer to have that sprayed over the drywall from the top
Yeah.
instead of right to the roof deck.
Right. So there's room.
Right, and then we would create space between, or have the baffles between the roof deck and your drywall or the knee walls.
Yeah. Absolutely. Which is harder on a roof, a hard winter or a real hot summer? Would you say?
You know what that comes down to?
What?
Ventilation and insulation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because your roof can be damaged from heat
Yeah.
as much as it can be damaged from the ice and snow.
Yeah.
Obviously, from heat, it's going to take time. What happens with heat, it dries out all the petroleum
Yeah.
and becomes brittle.
Yeah.
And breaks down over time a lot quicker
Right.
because of that heat. It keeps basically baking,
Right.
keeps baking, and it becomes really brittle. So that could be an issue. With ice damming, most of the time it could be immediate damage,
Right.
where you could see the weather coming in, or it could be a longer term where eventually it's going to tear those shingles up with the thaw and refreezing, that water that's trapped behind the ice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. So, what do you think about those roof rakes that people get? I mean, is that worthwhile if you can actually reach the snow?
If you can't get the issue addressed right away or have it inspected, have a contractor that knows what he's doing, know
Yeah.
what he looks for, inspected for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely is going to help because you're removing the edge where it would freeze.
Right.
Go up 6 feet at least
Yeah.
from the edge, and that will eliminate some of the refreezing
Yeah.
of the snow that melts on the top.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Definitely worth it, but it won't go away until you take care of the issue.
Yeah, no, makes sense. So again, one thing I've always learned too, I make sure before in the fall, if there's any spigots, I open them up, turn the water off. We'll turn the water off and then open the spigots. But insulation on the side of the house, like how important is it to make sure that your pipes aren't close to the outside? What do you have to do to make sure that they aren't going to freeze in the winter?
Well, like you said, you got to drain them, and we don't get it in too much with that type of situation, but usually it's not an issue. It's not a problem.
Yeah, but especially you guys got to make sure. I know sometimes the pipes with like the sinks are almost too close to the wall. And
Oh yeah, that's a construction issue.
yeah,
Yeah, if somebody has done that, they put the pipes too close to the outside wall and they don't have enough insulation.
yeah,
And with a cold winter, definitely gonna have a problem. Yeah.
yep. Let's take a walk because, like you said, it's kind of interesting. We can walk around this way. This house has every type of angle in their roof that you can imagine. All right, let's head over here. This seems like a huge job.
Oh yeah, this is one of the bigger projects as far as residential goes.
Yeah. So, do you have to? So you could build a great roof. Do you also then recommend like a? What if the gutters aren't big enough to handle the water?
Well, the gutters is like you said a big issue.
Yeah.
Too, especially if you look around here, you have a lot of trees.
Yeah.
It's not really a winter issue, but it is an issue, like a spring or fall.
Yeah.
Especially, you have a big, and this is what we run into all the time. The gutters, you got 5-inch, and the roof space is a big area, big space.
Right.
So if you have heavy rain, it's never going to catch all the water.
Yeah.
So we recommend always going bigger, the 6-inch all the time.
Yeah.
And if you have leaves and you don't clean those gutters on time, they're going to get clogged up, the small ones.
Yeah.
And the other thing you recommend is gutter screens, especially with big area and tree where there's a lot of trees.
So you do recommend that. I always heard that was kind of debatable because sometimes you can still get stuff underneath and now it might be harder to clean because you got the screens over it.
It depends on the screen. There's so many out there. That's why we went through many until we found a couple that really
What do you
work.
like? What works for you when you get a screen?
The ones we have, they have some copper built in them,
Yeah.
so they can't grow any moss.
Oh, okay.
And we like to put them on a 6-inch gutter, so it's a wider gutter,
Yeah.
bigger space.
Yeah.
And we have all the gutter screens we have installed. We haven't had any issues.
Yeah.
with them.
And when it comes to winter, because that's really more fall catching the debris. When it comes to winter, what do you have to do or take note of with gutters, with the freezing and the snow and everything like that?
Well, if it comes down to the same thing as your ice damming issue. If there's
Yeah.
no ice damming issue, it's just going to work itself, melt itself as it would otherwise.
Yeah, because we moved into a ranch house, which obviously has a big, usually kind of a relatively big roof area, and there was a lot of rain and snow melt that came off, but the gutters were regular gutters and it just couldn't handle it, and it would like overflow.
Oh yeah.
So, look, you got to put the aesthetics aside here and handle.
They actually look pretty nice, the bigger ones.
I
The
thought
bigger
so,
ones
but
too.
some people don't like them. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that can happen. They think they're a little too big, but they do the job. That's the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And then any type of, I know we talked about kind of roofing for ranches. Is there any extra, because they usually don't have attics, but you should still have like that space to put the insulation, correct?
Oh yes, every house should have space for insulation. The biggest issues we find usually with the Cape Cods that we would have to build.
Oh, that's
roofs
interesting. How
over.
come?
There's not the way they're built.
Yeah.
Is just very difficult to insulate them.
Are those the ones that you might have to actually add a second roof on?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we create the ventilation, add more insulation, and every one that we have done,
Yeah.
they have fixed the situation that they had.
My last question for you, Walter, before we let you go, because I think, unfortunately, we're running out of time here. If someone does have an actual emergency, can they call you, and can you do a patchwork before they can either get the money or wait until warmer months to get a new roof?
Oh yeah, we have service 24/7. They call us anytime. If they have leaks, we can take a look at it. It could be also an insurance problem where the insurance can help them take care of the problem.
Yeah.
If they have leaks,
Right.
active leaks. And yes, 100% we can come, remove the snow, and address the situation or come up with the best solution for them.
Yeah.
We have financing. We have a lot of different ways they can source funds if they don't have it to get the project done.
Very good.
We're here to help the community. They've been good to us for many years, so anything we can do to help.
Very good.
Yeah.
Walter, with Allstate Roofing, we're very grateful for this information. I know I learned a lot. A lot of this I picked up little tidbits along the way to get an expert to kind of tell me about this. Helps out a lot. So thank you very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this. We also hope that you tell your friends and family about the Rochester First app, because it's not just these interviews, which are great, and they air every weeknight at 8. We're trying to get a new one on each night, but we've got Kayla, James, Eric doing Weather First Plus at 10 p.m. We've got Bill's Kickoff Live. We've got Endgame. We've got so much else, and newscasts. So when you go away and you want the news, you got it there. Rochester First Plus. You know it's great because you're watching this, but please tell your friends and family that you can download it on almost any smart TV. And with that, I'll say take care, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 On Demand, plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.